Okay, seeing that it is 5:30, we will officially call the meeting of the Jasper Downtown Development Authority to order at 5:30. And making sure we have a quorum present, we have Sunny, Marty, Jack, Amy, and Jay present, so we do have a quorum today. Note that, sorry, Parrish, not Jack. Jack is absent today. So we do have a quorum. Moving on, Marty, will you lead the pledge for us, please? Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry about that. Right. You've all received the agenda. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda, please?
So moved.
Jay, in a second.
Second.
Parrish, all in favor? Any opposed? The agenda is adopted. And we need to approve the minutes from the August meeting. You all got that digitally. Can I get a motion, please, to approve the minutes from the August 26th meeting?
So
Parrish, and can I get a second?
Second.
Marty? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Then the motion's carried. We approve the minutes of the August 26th meeting. Moving on to new business. Our first item is the extension of the interim financing on the USDA project presented by Kim Boulder.
Good evening, all. Thank you for having me tonight at your meeting. In October of 2022, City Council and the DDA sat in this room, actually, and closed on interim financing for the city's USDA project to expand our wastewater plant and then also relocate our sewer outfall. Excuse me. You will recall that the DDA's involvement was needed because municipal entities are restricted with short-term financing, limits on the amount of debt that we are able to carry, and then the length of that short-term financing as well. The agreement signed 2 Octobers ago will mature at the end of this month. So on Thursday, those mature, and we still have probably 3 or 4 months left before we can actually close on the actual USDA permanent financing loan. And so Darren West with United Community Bank has prepared a 6-month contract extension on that agreement for interim financing. It is what you have before you this evening to look at, and City Council approved their resolution extending the contract at last Thursday's meeting. And so before you will see a similar resolution for the DDA to execute this evening. And what we're requesting is that the DDA authorize the authority chair and the secretary to execute any and all documentation associated with this extension on the interim financing. And I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has anything.
Board, any questions for Kim regarding the extension?
Kim, does that mean that you won't close on the property for 6 months, or you could close sooner than that?
We could potentially close sooner. It is my understanding that once we meet a certain amount of construction draws to where we can actually close on the USDA loan, I'm not sure that we will be at that point though, so we may need the full 6 months and all of construction could be finished by that time.
Yeah.
This is just to carry us through because the contractors are both still making draws on that, and there has to be a way to finance that interest carry.
Okay. So the motion you're seeking, would you mind putting it out there for us?
Sure, let me pull it back out. It was kind of long. So we're requesting that the DDA authorize the authority chair and the secretary to execute any and all documentation associated with the extension on financing.
Make that motion.
Parrish with the motion, a second.
I'll second that.
by Sunny. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Then the motion is carried.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on, welcome. Moving on to item number 2, the discussion of the year 2025 proposed budget. We'll start with our treasurer, Jay Cornelius, please.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, Chairwoman. As you may recall from a previous meeting, the DDA had a budget surplus from Downtown Live of $22,822.78. In addition to the city's continued financing of $22,000 annually, this brings our total operating budget for 2025 to $44,822.78. We intend to use that budget for both operating expenses and some capital expenditures related to the next Downtown Live series. Those operating expenses include Main Street landscaping maintenance, Main Street light maintenance, and other miscellaneous administrative costs related to Main Street and downtown maintenance and other activities. And then Downtown Live, those expenses include entertainment, the stage, the generators, the ice for our vendors, our public safety costs, restroom rentals, marketing and advertising, printing and signage, and any other miscellaneous. So with your consideration, I propose that we formalize that budget of $44,822.78 for the 2025 calendar year.
I would like to include Sunny, if I may, on the discussion
Okay.
of this budget, please, since you're a member of the budget committee.
Right. Well, again, the process I think this year was very organized and a step ahead, and well, I hope that everything will be approved. We have, the council has a budget meeting, public hearing on the 21st of November, and then we'll subsequently be approving our budget after that, receive some public input. And hopefully, once that occurs, we can move forward with these funds.
Any other discussion from the board of the 2025 proposed budget as it relates to the Downtown Live?
Just appreciate y'all's work on that. Thank you.
It's good for not only our group, but other stakeholders as well.
Okay, so we should expect to be at the city council meeting in November.
If you dare so, come on, we love to have you.
Sure. All right, any other discussion of this from the board? Okay, moving along
We
to
love some
items.
smiling faces.
Moving on, this is so good, it's so good for our community. Just wonderful. Item number 3, the Downtown Live proposed dates. So these are just falling on every second Saturday again, and turn that over to Marty.
Yeah, those are the dates that we try to stick to, the 4 dates for May, June, July, and August, and we pull them out, and they're all fit to seem that there's not a lot of conflicts with anything that we can run into the 4th week or those type of weeks, but it looks like those 4 dates are fit our schedule, so we can, once we get those dates approved and the budget approved, then we can start making some plans for some vendors and some music.
Okay.
Do you want to announce those dates?
Announce those dates and then approve them later.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Let's go ahead and announce them and then we'll approve them at our, after the budget.
Second, what's the?
I don't have them in front of me.
I can let go. It's the second Saturday of May, June, July, and August, which would be, believe it, I might have them just want to verify. This is important. Everybody can make their vacation plan. All right, so the May, if I'm looking at it right, May 10th, June 14th, July 12th, and August would be on the 9th.
We'll keep those in front of us, and once we finish with our budget process, we'll move to approve all of those dates as we move forward. Thank you, Marty. Thank you for all your work
No
that
problem.
you do as it pertains to our Downtown Live. It looks as if our city manager would like to speak on this.
Yes, I'd like to, Madam Chair, Board, just as a point of reference, and some of you I've been able to speak with, so I wanted to formally say as well that one of the initiatives we're going to try to do in 2025 as city administration is solicit and encourage and essentially put forward any and all of our partnerships with public, private, nonprofit. Y'all are a component unit of the city, so it's a little different, but yet we still want to consistently put forward these events to the council. So I think what you've all done this evening in terms of identifying the requested dates, what I want to encourage y'all to do is January, February, we'll set some aside either a work session or a formal council meeting to then come and essentially celebrate these dates, continue to talk and encourage folks to put this on their calendars. As a side note, I think it's important to also talk about a little bit about the budget in terms of, I think sometimes there's this confusion. And so I just want to make sure that when you come on the 21st, I hope that what you'll be able to hear is that the actual way that the budget process moves from a general fund perspective, DDA is a component unit of the city, meaning that in the tabs of this spreadsheet or this booklet, you're a department as the police, the fire, et cetera. So from a funding perspective, there's a revenue column. There's 95, 96 revenue lines in the general fund, and then you have all these different expenditure, these department budgets. DDA is a department budget. The revenue that you all generate through the Downtown Live is received in through our CFO. The actual contribution that the city provides, and I think the staff recommendations funded at $22,000 again, consistent with last year's, is funded through the revenues created from hotel motel. So there's a totally separate fund that's not actually derived from the city's general coffers. So with respect to the events themselves, I want to commend you for continuing to get these donations to help fund them, but also just to clarify too, that it is something that part of the hotel motel tax is to draw folks into our community, and y'all's mission in achieving that is such that we can utilize those monies as a source of revenue that then expends out. So in terms of actual general fund expenditure costs, beyond staff's time, and with y'all doing the off-duty officer through the donations, that helps to offset the cost. But so what we want to continue to do is talk about these initiatives as when you come before council, is just continue to clarify how good this is for the community as a whole. Because in terms of the impact to the general fund, it's negligible at best, but it's an in-kind labor services.
Sure.
So just wanted to point that out because I know at times it's like, I don't know where this is, but in terms of the budget process, you're still approved in the budget process through like the December 2nd proposed budget.
So the attendance figures might be helpful as far as the impact on downtown businesses, right? Those
Absolutely.
kinds of things is what you-
Absolutely. It's oftentimes, anytime that you're continuing to grow and mature as a community and you're having these destinational draws into your downtown, it continues to be your heartbeat.
Mhm.
Your central business district is your heartbeat of your community. So you want to continue to sustain that because, you know, there's a lot of commercial corridors throughout, and as we continue to, you know, help recruit some of these, major chains, those are important, but it's your small businesses, it's your downtown, central business districts that continue to give you your identity. So I think y'all found a niche that we want to continue to support, but also just want to put it on your radar that we do have the process in 25 of where each of our stakeholders are going to come, and it's to be celebrated. It's not to be, anxious about. So,
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Recommendation. Yeah.
Any other questions from the board for Mr. Douglas? Wonderful. And as that relates to hotel motel tax and tourism, we can all agree, I think that is a wonderful thing, like we said, for downtown businesses as well as our residents. Anything else from our board. Sunday, did you want to mention about our Main Street America? We had discussed that.
Well, we had our initial call 2 weeks ago with the folks from the DCA, and that was Kim, myself, and Kirk, and 3 members of the DCA team. Really, it was just an introductory meeting, and we'll be having calls each month. There'll be homework assignments that will begin, that will need to be completed on a timely basis. And it was just a very, very general, energetic overview of what the process will look like. And Ms. Elliott continues to be excited about working with us, and the team members were, one of the team members kind of is the make sure you're following all the rules. And she was very, very helpful in making sure that we walk through the process in a stepwise fashion. So it was exciting.
Do you have any updates as to what our next steps would be as it pertains to the Main Street America?
So
2025?
with respect to the DCA, there'll be no official action that will be necessary from the council to indicate that the DDA will be the board for the Main Street as well. That was a question I had. And then once we get things rolling, each of the members of the board will have to do some education, which is online, and then we'll gradually, stepwise go through the things that we've already talked about, some sort of planning process, clearly defining our map, all those things. And hopefully with the budget process, we'll continue to move forward with our plans as it relates to some support for Ken as well, which will be an all-encompassing position, and that'll be really exciting for a point person. So,
And when we talk about our map, we're meaning the Central Business District or our, okay,
whatever their requirements are.
whatever the DCA requirements are. And that's through the Main Street America initiative that we obtained in
I think we.
July.
August.
Were granted
Yeah,
in August.
I think we had to apply by July 1st, and we heard in August that we would be able to move forward. So
Okay, very exciting for
it is
2025. We've worked on that for
long time.
a long time.
2018 is when
Yeah.
we started that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you for that update.
Yep.
Anything else from you, Jay? Any of the other board? Our next Downtown Development Authority meeting should be what? 25th of November, which is the week of Thanksgiving. We'll see what comes before that, but we will need to be in front of City Council on the 21st, if I'm correct. Anything else from the board? We can, yeah. So we have time, if we would like to open up for any comments or questions from anybody present and from the community. Anybody? Wonderful.
Move to adjourn.
Movement to adjourn from Parrish. A second?
Second.
From Marty. Any discussion? All in favor of adjournment? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Meeting adjourned at 5:49.